Hey there, this is your girl Candace coming at you all the way live from sunny South Florida. And this video is late. It should have come out yesterday. I'll try to be more on time in the future, but hey, what can I tell you? This is the second video, or the third video actually, that I'm doing for the Three Rivers Challenge that I'm engaging in. As you know, Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead does a challenge every year whereby people who participate in the challenge either do a low spend or no spend January and or February in terms of groceries. And I'm doing this challenge. I'm doing it from an urban setting, which is slightly unusual. A lot of the people who participate in the challenge do it from homesteads or places where they have gardens and pantries and freezers and things of that nature, in addition to the regular stuff you find in the kitchen. I'm doing it from my kitchen cabinets, from my freezer, and, my refrigerator. So this week I did a protein blueberry breakfast bread, which has like 19 grams of protein in each of the servings. So that's pretty cool. And you divide it up into 6 servings. And it's delicious. And the thing is, I like to nosh when I have tea, for example, in the afternoon. And if I'm going to nosh, I might as well nosh on something that gives me protein, which fits in with my weight loss and fitness goals, rather than something that's just sugar, right? Just plain sugar and no apparent other use. So other than pleasure, this way I get pleasure and protein in one fell swoop. The second thing that I made was a simple salmon dinner. So I had these frozen packs from Morey, Morey', where, I was able to cook the salmon or whatever in the oven, and it's kind of prepackaged and pre-portioned, so it's perfect, 6 ounces. And I paired that with some rice and a Greek salad, a Greek-inspired salad. And the other meal I made was a beef and mac one-pan meal. And so that's great because I was able to just dirty up I would have been able to dirty up just one pan. But because I initially started cooking it in a smaller pan, I had to move it over to a bigger one. But I made this beef and mac one-pan meal, and I can enjoy it for lunch and or dinner this week. So those are the 3 meals that I cooked in this video. And without further ado, let's get cooking. All right. So in this container or this little pan, I have the makings of blueberry protein bread. And the reason why it's called protein blueberry breakfast bread, and the reason why I'm making it is because each slice or serving has 198 calories and 18 grams of protein. And you're wondering probably, how did I get 18 grams of protein in here? So this is made out of pancake mix, and I used Kodiak waffle and flapjack mix basically for this, which has some protein in it. It also has a 1/2 cup of vanilla protein powder. And I used this protein powder, AOS, in it because to me, it's a little sweet, a little dense, and it just lended itself to this particular dish. So I use that. It has 2/3 a cup of milk of my choice, and I use Silk soy milk, which also has protein. It also calls for 3/4 cup. It says dairy-free yogurt, but I used Greek yogurt, which is also high protein, and 2 eggs. It also calls for a 1/2 cup of fresh blueberries. I didn't have fresh, I had frozen. So I rinsed those bad boys off and I defrosted them in the fridge, and then I folded them in. So we're going to put this in an oven at 350 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes. And then we'll see what we will see when it comes out. All right. All right. So for this week's meal prep, I'm making a salad to begin with. So for the salad, we're going to go ahead and cut up some English cucumber, which I have here. And just to keep it from being too soggy, I'm going to go ahead and take out the seeds using this spoon here. That way we get the outside of the English cucumber and not the soggy insides. All right. And for my vessel, I'm just going to use one of these handy containers, and I'll show you, leave a link down below to let you know where I got this from. All right. So we're going to chop up the cucumber. And this is going to be more of a chopped salad because, whatever. And I'm not perfect, so I'm not doing perfect little chops. I don't have the patience for that or the skills for that matter. I'm just a humbug, self-taught, no patience. So we're just going to do that. And this salad is going to be sort of a Greek salad. It's going to be olives in here, some tomatoes, things of that nature. And I'm just going to do like a red wine vinegar from scratch dressing because I don't have any Greek dressing handy. And you do it from scratch, you know what's in it. You're not like buying something. And it takes about 2.5 seconds anyway to mix it out. So just putting a little bit of salad there. This salad's going to go with some salmon. And I did take a little liberty there because the salmon is actually Morey's, Morey, apostrophe S. It comes in these prepackaged containers. And it already has sauce on them. So, and the ingredients are really clean. And I like that about Morey's. Because, it's prepackaged salmon. Sometimes it goes on BOGO, buy one, get one free at Publix. In which case you can get like 4, because there's 2 that comes in the pack. You can get like 4 pieces of salmon. They're like 6 ounces each. That's a nice protein hit. And they taste really good. And they're very convenient. You can just pop them in the oven for like 18 minutes and you're good to go on a sheet tray. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to pop them in the oven for like 18 minutes and that's going to be for dinner. So it'll be salmon. It'll be some rice. I already have some microwavable rice from one of my favorite brands, Royal, which makes this really nice seasoned yellow rice in a packet. And I prefer to do it that way because that way I'm not cooking like a big thing of rice. It's already pre-portioned. I eat half of it for a serving. So I'll have the salmon, the rice, some salad, and call it a lifetime, right? And that'll be dinner. It'll be a high protein, healthy dinner that's well balanced. And I like that. So just doing this. And I'll probably throw some feta cheese in my salad too, because I have it in the refrigerator. All right. So while I was off camera, I popped out and I got some Kalamata olives and some feta out of the refrigerator. So what I'm going to do here is try to fish out these Kalamata olives so that I can distract the olives. Okay. So now I got to chop these bad boys up. Let me see if I can do this. Oops. The olive juice is spritzing everywhere. All right. So now we got the olives out of here. And I'm putting these pieces into the salad. And then I'm going to rinse off the cutting board one more time. All right, so now, sorry, my OCD is getting to me. So now I'm going to throw in a little bit of feta, which I have here. And this feta I bought on sale. It was like buy one, get one free at Publix. And it lasts a pretty long time in the fridge. Ooh, feta is pretty strong. Okay. And I'm just giving it a little rough chop to make sure that feta will get to all parts of the salad. That wouldn't be considered chopped. Okay. All right, so now we got the feta in there. Still got olives everywhere. Let me rinse this off one more time. I'll be right back. All right, so I got these really handy containers that basically keep the oxygen out. And I put this red onion in there, and it kept the red onion fresh all this time. This has been in the fridge for a while. And I love these choppers. So I went ahead and I'm going to use the remainder of a red onion that I have from before to put it into the salad. Sometimes the only problem with these choppers are the little teeny tiny holes that you have to get the food through or out of if it doesn't come out automatically. But we now have chopped red onion, and actually this is probably too much. So I'll probably put some of this into a container to use with other applications and just put like a couple of fingerfuls into this salad because we don't want it to be too laden with red onion. All right. Got myself a gorgeous salad here. And I'm going to basically stop the salad making here. And then when I put on the dressing later, I'll just shake it up and I will have salad, right? Okay. So that's already done. We're making another recipe today that requires a couple of recipes actually that require red onion. And what I'm going to do, I mean, not red onion, that require regular onion. And in this case, sliced. So what I'm going to do is take away the parts of the onion that were kind of icky. All right. And I'm going to slice through a portion of this. I'm always bumping the camera for the recipe that requires sliced onion. Boom. All right. So we have sliced onion for that. Okay. We got it in the get together. Okay. And then I'm going to take the remainder of this onion and I'm going to peel off whatever's unattractive about it, part that isn't good. Because as you can see, it's beautiful underneath. And we're going to go ahead and chop the, oh. I was like, what? Here. In here. Oh, providing I can figure out how to put this thing back in here. Okay. It's not easy being a maniac, let me tell you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is chop this up into pieces that would fit, right? All right. So we now have chopped onions. Actually, I'm going to put these into another container because this is going to be for a meal that's going to have onions, as well as zucchini, carrots, and other vegetables. So we'll put them in here. We'll throw on this piece of red onion that's still in here too. All right. All right. So now I've already washed out the zucchini and we're going to chop this zucchini up. Actually, why am I chopping the zucchini up? Why don't I let the chopper chop up the zucchini as well? Shouldn't it all be the same size? I'm over here asking rhetorical questions. So let's put the chopper to use. And chop up the zucchini. I'll put a link to my chopper below as well. My links are affiliate links, and it's one of the ways that I help that supports the channel. So it's just affiliate links to Amazon. No big deal. All right, so the zucchini's chopped, and I'm also going to put the zucchini in here with the onion. Isn't that pretty? So obviously the next meal is sort of vegalicious, right? Because it's going to have onions and zucchini, and it's also going to have carrots. Now, carrots I like to chop separately because unless you're going in some meal that requires, fancy looking carrots, but for the most part, I'm just going to chop them very simply like this. Takes all, 2 seconds. And the recipe calls for 4 carrots. So I probably should have used a chopper, but sometimes the chopper is a pain with the solid vegetables like carrots. It'll do it, but it can be a pain. So, all right. So the carrots are done. And I kind of wonder whether or not they're going to actually fit in here. I might have to squeeze them down. Oh, gee. First on the floor. Carrot overboard. See if I can smush them down in there. Pretty sure I can. All right. So now we have a container full of vegetables for one of the meals. And I think the only other vegetable that goes in here is garlic. So we will put the garlic in while we're cooking it. All right. So we have here the vegetables we need for the macaroni and beef dish. We have the salad that's going to go with our salmon. Only thing I'm missing is a dressing. This container, came undone, which means I didn't properly seal it. All right, I think that's properly sealed. All right, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to start cooking. All right, so while that's cooking, we're going to put the vegetables that I chopped up earlier for the beef dish in here, and we're going to simmer this or cook it for 5 to 7 minutes while it browns. So the blueberry bed is in the oven. And now I'm going to make the seasoning mix for the beef dish. All right. So the dish calls for 1 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of pepper, one teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, all right. And it also calls for a clove of garlic, which I will go ahead and put into the pot with the veggies. And I'll come back to you once we're ready for the next step. When I tell you it smells like heaven in here with the garlic, let me tell you, trust and believe. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm putting in the beef. This is 1 pound of organic beef. I normally like grass-fed and organic, but I think this is just organic. I'm not sure because it doesn't have a label. With these, I probably got it from like Stamps. It should be grass-fed and organic. But this is 1 pound, and I always start to get lean, so it's either 93.7, but that's usually 50, or 90.10, something like that. I like to get lean beef. Higher in protein, I guess, if you get more meat, no fat in there. All right, so what I'm doing is breaking this up with my hands a little bit. I'm one of those maniacs who don't like touching meat. So, with my hand. And now what I'm going to do is actually flip this. Well, actually flip it. I need to season it. So I'm seasoning the meat with the seasoning that we put together. That smells really good too. And I'm flipping it so that the meat is kind of on the bottom and can cook. All right. So we're going to let this cook down. And then we're going to come back in and break it up more and do the next step. And in the meantime, I keep saying feel everywhere. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I don't want anything to burn. All right, and we'll come back. Okay, now that the meat has browned, I'm supposed to add the macaroni. Use 2 cups of macaroni elbows, and I'm using a protein macaroni. Tomato sauce. We're using 2 cans. I'm using Hunt, no salt added. And 2 cups of broth just to help cook the macaroni. That's 1.5. So you can see we're getting really good use out of this broth that we made with the chicken bones in video 1. I'm using it in my soup every day. I've used it for different dishes. So we're getting really good use out of it. And apparently I need all the broth that I bought because I actually use it. Now, will somebody please tell me why I didn't put this in a bigger pot? I might have to transfer this. Let me see something. It's from one pot to another, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. So we have a new pot, which is a little taller. And what I'm going to do is mix it up a little bit to make sure it's in here good. And then we're supposed to cook this covered for 15 minutes. And that's what we're going to do. And I'll bring you back when we're ready. All right. So as you can see here, it cooked down beautifully. I gave it a taste test, and it really tastes good. Let me try that again. All right. Mm. I mean, the seasonings in here are perfect. The macaroni is cooked down. It's sort of like a hamburger helper, but a much healthier one with lots of veggies, protein pasta, high quality meat. And so this is going to make meal prep for at least 4, if not more servings. And it's a high protein meal. So I'm going to let this cool down and then I'm going to pack it up, and put it in the fridge. And this will be lunch or dinner over the next few days. All right. I also took out the bread from the oven, the blueberry bread, but it wasn't quite done. Like, they had that doughy feel. So I'm letting it cook a little bit more. It rose quite a bit. And then I'll come back to you when it's ready. Okay. All right. So this is what the Morey salmon packs look like. And I've opened them up. Apparently I've opened up every one except for this one. And apparently the protein bread is done. So I'm going to go take that out of the oven real quick. But before I do, I'm going to take these out. And I'm going to put the sauce over them. Oh, jeez. All right. So we got them out of the pack. That was a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the oven up to 400 and then stick these in the oven. All right. And I'll bring you back then. All right. So the protein bread is done. You can see it over there. And then I'm now going to put the salmon into the oven. And I'm going to clean off my counter. All right. Or the working area. All right. So over here, you can see the protein bread. And this looks a lot more done than it did before. And the fork just came out clean. So I'm going to let this cool for a few minutes and then we're going to slice it and give it a taste. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up sign. If you enjoyed it and you think you can benefit from this content, then please subscribe. What are you waiting for if you haven't already done it? And thank you so much for joining me, the ones of you who have subscribed. Thank you so much for following me. And the next video is coming out on Sunday. For real, it's coming out on Sunday. I'll see you then in the next video. Take care.